Why are the wings coming out, Matt? Mav, this is a taxiway, not a runway. This is a very short taxiway, Mav.
You just hang on.
Holy shit!
Come on. Needle's alive. Come on.
Mav?
That's it. Come on. All right.
Mav!
Here we go.
Holy shit!
Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen/workshop. We're going to finish up the throttle quadrant build today. Keep in mind that this is a 90% solution. Some things are finished and some things will be partially finished. So let's jump right in. First, we're going to take the left side cover plate and the friction brake handle and slide them together. The flaps assembly slides over the top of the friction handle, and on top of that goes the first of the 3 friction brakes. You can see me sliding the first of the rods through, and then the friction brake slides over the top of that. I do struggle a little bit here, but that's to be expected. Part of the reason why this all kind of came together this way is because of how I designed it in Fusion 360. I designed it from left to right, and if I designed it from right to left, it probably would go together somewhat differently. Now we have 3 brackets. The flaps bracket and the right throttle bracket are both the same, and the left throttle bracket is slightly different. This is an offset so that the sprockets and the potentiometers can all fit together. Here I'm just sliding it down over the threaded rods. You can see me sliding in one of the potentiometers and locking it into place. The first of the 2 throttles, the left throttle, is going to slide over the friction brake assembly just like the other ones did, and then you have the left throttle bracket that slides over the top. I've already put the potentiometer in place. Now you see me sliding in the friction brake over the rod, over the friction brake assembly as well. Just like before, I've pre-wired the entire thing. I'm assuming everybody knows how to tin a few wires to potentiometers at this point. Here I'm sliding over a spacer and one of these other spacers as well for the right throttle. The throttle slides over the top onto the friction brake assembly just like the other parts as well. And then on top of that goes the last of the 3 friction brakes. And finally we have the last of the 3 brackets. This is the right throttle bracket, and it slides over the rods just like the other ones did before. Now we have the right cover plate, the emergency wing sweep potentiometer and sprocket have already been installed. You can see it on the bottom right hand corner. Here I'm sliding an M8 by 120 hex bolt through and a washer and nut. This helps tighten the entire thing and draws the entire throttle quadrant together. Next we have the emergency wing sweep cover. This has an M8 by 40 millimeter bolt that slides in. Here I'm struggling a little bit to maneuver everything around each other and get the threaded rods to slide into the cover as well. But once it all pops together, it comes together really nicely. Here I'm just popping on the nuts. I flipped over the entire throttle quadrant in order for me to get the M8 bolt to lock into place with its nut. Here we're coming down to the end. I'm going to put on the front cover plate and back cover plate. These are slightly different. The one with the window in it goes on the front. That allows for any cables or wires to be run through without actually having to put a hole or running it through the bottom. These are all M2 by 8 or 10 millimeter screws, depending on what you have. You can see the rat's nest of all the wires and everything, which is why the window is there. Here we have the emergency wing sweep top cover plate. I used an M4 by 25 millimeter with a nut on the back side. This is just to draw everything together. This micro switch will be wired in and will let DCS know when that top cover plate is open or closed. Now, this is kind of important because I didn't put this in the original files that I uploaded to. I just kind of picked a spot and made sure that it worked. And here you can see I tested it. And the switch closes nicely when the cover is closed. Finally, we have the DCS brackets. These are set in place with M2 by 8 or 10 millimeter screws, just like the rest of them. And last but certainly not least, we are going to put the gated throttle portion of the top. I don't know what you exactly call it, but it's the top cover plate. It goes on top. For this, I use self-tapping screws and just zip them into place. This is that 10% that's missing from the original design that I put together. And that's pretty much it, guys. I know that there are things missing, and there will be updates, but I hope this helps some of you out in your own builds.